Good evening, everybody. My name is Giovanni De Blasio, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about the positive side of video games. So, with all the negative effects of video games being spewed about in the news and on social media sites today, it can be hard to see how positive games can actually be. And for this talk, I don't even want to entertain the negative misconceptions of video games that are floating around nowadays. Instead, I just want to focus on how good they can be for children and for adults alike. I recently listened to a TED Talk given by this man, Gabe Zickerman, and it was all about the positive effects of video games as well as gamification in everyday technology. Zickerman listed so many positive aspects of video games I couldn't even keep count. Instead of listing these points though, I'd rather use Gabe as a walking example of the positive effects that video games can have on children. Gabe recalled the life-changing event when he got his first Atari 2600 set and how different his world was ever since. Even more than the Atari, Gabe regards the game Where in the World Was Carmen Sandiego as the best video game to ever come out. And now his reasoning behind this is that, in his words, it was the first video game that parents, teachers, and students all agreed on how great it was, which is no easy feat. This game ignited a passion inside of Gabe that he turned into something amazing, and that's the point that I want to make. Gabe discusses going from Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego to a game called Civilization, which he claims to have spent upwards of 10,000 hours playing. This passion for video games turned into a huge and bountiful career for Gabe. He's worked for the Game Developers Conference, wrote 3 books on the subject of gamification, as well as chairs the Gamification Summit. He has literally turned a passion for video games into a career. Now, obviously, this isn't to say that anyone who has ever played Call of Duty or World of Warcraft or Fortnite is going to end up authoring books on the subject of gamification, but it does go to show that this passion can land kids a real future. It also goes to show that games are not just a waste of time. One point that Gabe brings up in his talk is that playing video games increases the gray matter in people's brains. Now, this was expanded upon in an article from ID Tech. Gray matter may sound confusing, but what playing video games does is increase memory, spatial orientation, information organizations, as well as fine motor skills. The author of the article from ID Tech, who just goes by Vince, has over 20 years of experience in the video game industry, having worked for Sony, Microsoft, and Disney. Vince also described a study conducted between 2 groups of adults, one of which played Super Mario 64 for just 30 minutes a day for 2 months, and the others did not. The groups both underwent MRIs before and after the 60 days, and the findings were just as predicted. The video game playing group showed a volumetric brain increase, while the others stayed the same. This means you can literally grow your brain just by playing video games. If that's not enough to make you pick up a controller right now, then I'm not sure what'll do it. Thank you guys for listening. My name is Giovanni De Blasio. Have a great night.